All right, we're live. How is everybody doing tonight? As you can see from the title, I had jury duty this week. We'll let some people get in the chat and we'll go from there. But yes, I spent 3 days this week in jury duty. Carl, Renegade, how you doing? Learning, what's up? Get a little more comfortable. So yeah, you wanna piss somebody off, put somebody obsessed with efficiency, me, in our legal system. So inefficient, just ridiculous how inefficient it is. Charles, okay, let's talk tools. He just got paid. Not wise financial decision making, but we'll allow it. Do I have extra clean hands this week? Yeah, nothing like sitting around for 8 hours a day doing almost nothing. Like seriously, Monday just sucked. Had to be there for the initial thing. Joe Mama, no choo-choo for you. Sit around, wait around some more. Oh, yeah, come back tomorrow. James Bergfield had jury duty back in 93, lent the guy to the chair. He finally got it in 2014. Well, I was on a civil lawsuit, not a criminal case. It was just, damages for an accident kind of thing. The sucky part about it is I don't know how the case turned out. I was an alternate. So after everything, all the closing arguments and all that, I got told to go in a different room because they were going to do it in the jury's deliberation room. Excuse me. So I got to sit there for 3 hours in an empty room, couldn't go anywhere. Wi-Fi wouldn't connect for some reason, and 5G in the building kind of sucked. So yeah, it really sucked. Foxbox923, how does jury duty work? Does work have to give you the time off? I'm 23 and don't know how this works. Legally, yes, they are required to give you the time off. It's not an option. They can't fire you for it. They can't do anything for you. They don't have to pay you, but they have to, by law, give you the time off. Jury duty is not voluntary. You're required by law to show up for jury duty. If you don't, the judge will issue a bench warrant and they will take you to jail. So no, you can't not go to jury duty. And a job is not an excuse. It just literally isn't. Jonathan Campos, I remember I had to go to do jury duties when I just turned 18, and for some reason they let us go early. Wasn't so bad since I was excused for school, but it sucked because I had no ride back. Unfortunately, this is my 4th time getting called for jury duty in the county where I live. I've lived here for coming up on 40 years. But yeah, this is my 4th time. This is my first time serving on a jury. But yeah, it was not fun. Jury duty is the best call out lie. I didn't want to call out, so. Charles Johnson, thanks doing your jury duty. A lot of people in prison wait a long time. It helps when a jury actually shows up. Yeah, it was not a criminal case. It was a civil lawsuit, just an accident and suing for damages. Lakes, what's going on? Yeah, Aaron Townsend TV. I had a jury duty a few years back. They let me go because I was a full-time student. Yeah, that is one of the excuses. That is actually a valid excuse if you're a full-time student. Employed is not one of them. But yeah, no, so yeah, self-employed, nope. Elderly or child care is about the only thing that really, other than that, is really acceptable or active military. Or you have a conflict, somebody that's in the case, etc. But yeah, it was not fun. They're like, yeah, sure, you come on. I don't know why I gave the vibes. I mean, literally in the selection process, I answered three questions. What I do for a living, what content creation is, because auto technician, content creator. I had to actually explain what content creation was to the lawyer, and then that I was married and what my wife did. Literally three questions, and I got picked on a jury. Theory, I heard Fulton County jury duty is not fun. I don't think jury duty across the board is very fun, but I don't have any personal knowledge of Fulton County jury because I've never been in Fulton County jury. So I can only tell you where I live sucked. It is just so inefficient. It's, I can't tell you. It's like, oh, yeah, lawyers need to have a chat. Everybody out. Okay, lawyers have had their chat. Everybody back in. And it's like, okay, we're going to stand around for 20 minutes while the lawyers have a meeting. They let us go for lunch one day, and they're like, okay, you got an hour and a half for lunch, because we got to discuss this, and we might start late after you get back, but be on time. I'm like, how long is this discussion going to be? And well, luckily we started back on time. Now for me, I'm 5-10 minutes away from the courthouse, so it's not a big deal for me to get from my house to there, but yeah. Cars exposed. What's going on? Do they pay your expenses like here in UK? $35 a day. I get paid $35 for jury duty a day. So yeah. Yeah, that's it. No, nothing else. Just $35 a day. Yeah, it's 35 where I live, but yeah, just we were all discussing it. It was a very eclectic mix of people in the jury duty pool, I guess, that got picked. Retired software engineer, school teacher, truck driver. Theory, at least $25 in his county. Lawyers and road workers were flat rate. Technically, personal injury lawyers are on flat rate, and they only get paid when they win. because they're on contingency. So if they don't win, they don't get paid. Yeah, I mean, personal injury lawyers are different. They work normally on contingency. That's why you see all the lawyer video, all the lawyer commercials, we'll take on your case for no money, no money, no money until you win. And that's the whole reason they want the case, is so they can take a huge chunk of it. But, it's kind of why there's a bunch of lawsuits out there. But yeah, no, for personal injury, which is what the case was, they don't bill. If they lose, you don't get charged anything. It's just they take it as a loss. So fun. Justin Hayward for taking a bowel movement. I mean, regular lawyers, yeah, they bill you for everything. Oh, I'm sitting here adding up your bill. That's a bill too. So what kind of tool questions we got? The Friday's video, tomorrow's video will be on the new Milwaukee mechanics or technician borescope. I think it's going to be it's an awesome video. Very, very quick production, if you know what I mean. Jury duty. And also, because during the course of jury duty, David Pike, aka Motor City Mechanic, was in town, so left the courthouse, came home, grabbed some stuff, drove to Kennesaw, and I'm not near Kennesaw. So that was my Tuesday night, which was very, very cool. It was fun hanging out with him. Good seeing him. Igor asking, unrelated question to jury duty. What's your opinion about Final Cut Pro? Igor, I've never used Final Cut Pro. I'm a Premiere boy, and I don't have any Mac products here. I'm not I have an old hard drive based iPod, and my wife has a iPod Nano, I believe. The M2 Silicon is very cool. It's based on the ARM architecture. Very efficient. Does work well. And it'll work for video editing. So if that's your question, yes, it'll work to edit video. Just make sure you get enough RAM. Final Cut Pro, Humble Mechanic uses it. It works fine. As long as you're not doing very complex After Effects type wanting content, it works good. It's a simple NLE. So, Justin Hayward, you think Snap-on will ever be able to compete with the aftermarket scan tools? Well, they make aftermarket scan tools, but do I think they will always compete, but they will always be beaten, unfortunately, by the Asian manufacturers, just simply because of what they can, the Asian manufacturers can get around some stuff that Snap-on really can't as an American company. So they're always going to be missing features that the Asian products will have. How do you, Daniel, you're going to have to retype that question, because I really don't really understand what you're asking there, Daniel. Zach's up all the way from New Zealand, work on Kia and Suzuki. Luckily, I've got a week off, LOL. Well, good for you. Glad you got a week off. Theory, most of the guys at work keep picking up a lot of the Snap-on electric tools. I don't know. I can't get on board with them. I won't give Snap-on money for their electric tools. I mean, I bought a long reach ratchet back in the day when Milwaukee didn't have one. It was okay. I mean, nothing really impressed me about it. But they're, you know, battery technology, it was stolen, now licensed from Milwaukee. And it's Snap-on. They're expensive, and I'd rather just have Milwaukee. I mean, I know I'm sponsored by Milwaukee, but I bought Milwaukee before they sponsored me, and I would not choose to buy stuff from Snap-on. But everybody has their preferences. I know a bunch of people hate the paddle shifter on the Milwaukee ratchets, and it's kind of my preference. So to each their own. Daniel BC, has anybody spent too much money on their vehicle? Lots of people. All I got to do is look at hot rodders, etc., dude. Theory, I do have to thank you for the thermal camera video. I picked up the top on Mr. Subaru showed, and it's helped with the water leaks and hub bearing problems. Awesome, man. Yeah, no, thermal imaging is so cool and it's so useful. It is useful. I have an overpriced Snap-on, but it still works. My understanding, and I'm not going to say I'm correct on this, but I've heard that everybody's thermal imaging camera is made by Bosch, and then the electronics and all that is by the manufacturer. So I don't say I'm for sure on that, but that's why a lot of the thermal cameras react the same way and stuff like that. Like Snap-ons acts very much like a FLIR. So I don't know, but that's what I've heard. How do you diagnose the vehicle with suspension issues? It very much depends on what kind of issues. Noise complaints, probably one of the best ways of noise complaints, other than understanding how things make noise. Because a lot of times I can drive a car and hear it's the strut tops making noise. I can hear, sway bar issue making noise. I, a lot of times, even with my damaged hearing, can a lot of times identify where the noise is coming from. Like, one of my favorite things to do is my first thing when I drive a car is I kind of try to figure out where noises are coming from, and then kind of narrow it down from there. You can do have somebody bounce a vehicle while you put your hand. Make sure the hood's properly supported. So if it's got, hood struts, you put a clamp on it or a hood prop, but have somebody else bounce it while you're feeling the strut top. If you hear popping or whatever in the strut top, feel it if you're in your fingers. That's one way. Same with sway bars. A lot of times when somebody else jounces the vehicle, you can feel a popping. Same with ball joints. You just kind of have to isolate it, and it's a very nuanced kind of technique doing noise complaints. And if everything's covered in oil, first thing you got to do is fix the oil leaks. Second thing you got to do, or I'm guessing when you say crown, I'm guessing you mean like suspension coating for rust. Same deal. The noise will transfer through that. Visual inspection on that kind of stuff is probably going to be not very good, but you just got to kind of find it. Daniel, I have a problem with my vehicle. When I'm turning right and hit a certain bump, I hear a popping sound. What could it be? Ball joints, control arm bushings, sway bar end links, sway bar links, or sway bar bushings. Get it to make the noise. No other noises going on except what's going on in the vehicle. No music on. Coast if you can, so no engine noise, and get it to make the noise, and then isolate which side it's going on, and then get somebody to jounce it while you're feeling for that noise in the suspension. You can also turn the wheel to where it approximately would be to try to replicate it. Obviously, any play in any of those joints will indicate there might be a problem. Yeah, Saturn customers will, theory goes, Saturn customers will spend to keep those things running. Had one that KBB had at 600, they dumped $3,000 into it. People do weird stuff like that. It's their money though. Theory, I do have to get a new borescope. Traded one of mine for a Fluke multimeter. Does Delphi still make parts? Yes. Porch Monkey saw the title, had to drop in a recommended tool by Astro, highly recommended. All right. Yeah, Zach, experience on what different suspension noises helps a lot. Like I said, I've been doing it for so long, and it's really, really hard to explain it. It's better, like a great way is like when I'm trying to train a technician to find noises, have them drive with you and hear the noises, get them to replicate the noise. And, you can go, that sounds like a strut top, or that sounds like that's a bad strut. Once they hear the noise and hear kind of how it sounds in the vehicle, it's easier for somebody else to identify. But explaining it, it's really hard. Nanosockets and 3/8 by Astro tools in both metric and AC used a 17 millimeter swivel head, and they're better than those mountain spline wrenches in most instances. And double as 3/8 impact sockets. I have nano sockets. My 24 shattered. It didn't shatter, but it cracked pretty bad. 54A, you ever known to back to work? Well, after jury duty, I'm back to work. But yes, I'm back to work. Yeah. Charles Johnson, those Astro socket, the nano sockets are good. Porch Monkey, I have them and use them more than anything else. Cool. Charles, for chassis components and many other things, for the person who mentioned they have 50% hard of hearing. I'm not 50% hard of hearing. I'm not that bad yet. I have hearing loss. I'm not hard of hearing. I mean, I do have some tonal issues, but that's not hard of hearing. I mean, that's just hearing loss, but I'm not 50%. Chassis ears wired are a pain in the butt to set up. The wireless ones are easier to set up, but so much interference in at least Atlanta. Our set, half of them didn't work. Didn't matter which channel you put them on. They'd squawk like hell. And you wind up giving up on them. So, but chassis ears, yeah. The wired ones, my experience at least in Atlanta, with everything going on with interference, we could never get them to work. Juan Ramirez, I screwed up and bought a 2S. Now I can't find a top chest to go on it, and Matco has no interest in building one. So what's an option anyone is using? I mean, you could home build one like Humble Mechanic did. Top hutch. But I find something that's the same depth and color kind of, and just stick it on top. I mean, go to Harbor Freight and get a top chest from them if it'll fit in the, the top of the chest. Charles Jonestone, Colonel has chassis years for 200, I think, and they heard they corrode over time or fall and fail, although the sensors fail often. But the wireless ones, Atlanta, Buckhead, it's just too much interference. Could never get them to work. Charles Johnstone, have y'all noticed BMW's the hollow engine bars in the engine bay can make vibrations extremely noticeable in the cab for the customer? If they're loose, haven't had one of those make noise unless they were left loose. It is a stiffening bar, so don't leave them out. But I haven't actually tracked any noise to those bars. Porch Monkey, night, y'all. Have a wonderful night. Porch Monkey, take it easy. Okay, Charles, that's fine. He wasn't talking about me being 50% deaf. Gordon Freeman, what is your opinion on getting other people to do your light checks? I think everyone should check their own lights. I've never had anybody. I mean, let me rephrase that. Under normal circumstances, I just do it myself. Brake pressure on the brake lights, check the brakes. I'll check lights in, window doors, like the roll-up doors with all the windows. I will back up to those, check all the lights in the rearview mirror, including the reverse lights, check all the front lights when I pull up to it. I've had people go, can you check my brake lights real quick? Especially with service riders wanting you to do them in the parking lot. The customer needs a brake light. You go push the brake pad and let me see which one it is. It takes 2 seconds to do that. Even like if your shop doesn't have lights, doesn't have, windows that you can, get a reflection on, it still takes no time to prop the brake light on, check the lights, check the rest of the lights. I mean, honestly, so I don't see the point in it costing the shop 2 people's time to check lights. I know that was kind of ranty about lights, but it's just a waste of time for 2 people to do it, in my opinion. Learning 66 wireless chassis years can be finicky and easily broke as a shop tool. Yeah, I think we were down to 2 sensors that actually would stay working. Daniel, light housings crack on cab lights. They're pretty common. They take a lot of abuse. I mean, just driving down the road. Learning 66. We use Steelman chassis ears. They're all made by Steelman, by the way. They work good when they work. Kind of, yeah. Renegade, yeah, that's what I said. They're all Steelman. Everybody's chassis ears is made by Steelman. Whether it says Snap-on, Blue Point, Mac, Cornwell, etc., they're made by Steelman. Wizards, Wizard X666. Ew, I got jury duty next week. Enjoy, wanting to take a nap really bad and can't. Especially for me during the closing arguments. And if I'd have known it was an alternate, I would have. But I didn't. Daniel, talking about buying a customer's vehicle, they decline repairs, etc., and he wants to buy it. That is very much going to be up to the dealership whether they will allow it. Obviously, if you contact the customer outside of the dealership, i.e., not on the land, not on the property, etc., they can't really say much, but they're probably not going to let you do that on the dealership property and facilitate that deal. Daniel, you don't think that's the first time that's happened. You'd be surprised how many people's parking brakes don't work. I can't tell you how many times I've parked a vehicle, put the parking brake on, put it in neutral, and car started just rolling backwards. And because I was like one time I was I can't remember. I had to do something with the I was doing a blend door. I was doing a blend door actuator, and the service procedure was take out the console and all that, and put it in put the parking brake on, left it in neutral. Because I wanted to be able to move the shifter to get the console out, and disconnected the battery and leaned against the door jamb, and the car started rolling, and the parking brake was all the way up. So yeah, that's not surprising. Gordon Freeman, I feel the same way. Getting another check to check lights really adds up to decrease the shop's productivity. My shop is not run by a very competent manager. Yeah, no, I mean, that's the stuff that just bugs me. Efficiency is, I'm all about efficiency. And it's not even just my efficiency. It's, I look at the shop efficiency. Oh, that's inefficient. Why are we doing it like that when we should be doing it this way? That's much more efficient, much more productive. But yeah, it's just a way. It bugs the crap out of me. Wizard X, grand jury duty. Oh, even more fun. That means you are there for a week. LOL, yeah. Renegade, yeah. I know I can't remember what tool truck I got them from. It doesn't matter. They're Steelman. Zach, what's your opinion on sharing tools, especially higher value specialty tools? I've, as the picture behind me, I've always loaned my tools to anybody that returned them properly. I.e., even if they broke them, they told me about it. Most of my tools were lifetime warranty, etc., so it wasn't a big deal. They just had to tell me they broke it. But if people are taking advantage of you, won't buy any tools, but keeps borrowing your, 10 millimeter socket, you probably need to cut them off. But as long as people treat my tools with respect, I'm fine. I'm fine loaning my tools out. I mean, I've loaned scan tools out. I've loaned specialty tools. I have scopes, etc. So I've never had a problem doing that, as long as they're respectful. Gordon Freeman, I did buy a customer's trade-in, and the dealership was nice enough to sell it to me at cost. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it very much depends on the dealership and their policies. Some have very, very strict policies about that. Charles Palufa, you have to go to get selected for jury duty, but the best and most helpful exercise to get out of getting selected is saying, I hate everybody, everybody's guilty, I don't care what they did. I never had the chance to say that. Literally, they didn't even ask if there was any reason why anybody in a criminal trial. I mean, the last time I went for jury duty, they asked, is there any reason why you don't think you can be on a jury? And my response was, the prosecutor prosecuted me when I did some bad stuff when I was 18, and Your Honor sentenced me to 30 days in jail. I got out of jury duty really fast. Got a nice laugh too. Charles Johnston, I personally wouldn't let another person use my dial indicators or torque wrenches without being nearby in case they drop them or do something weird with them and not say anything about it. I mean, all mine are all my torque wrenches are electronic now at this point, except my Snap-on beam torque wrench. And, I've had a torque wrench get paid to be fixed by somebody else. So they paid to fix the one tool they broke. Dial indicators, I mean, I guess mine aren't that expensive. So, but it's personal preference on everything. Daniel, is it hard to replace the fuse block underneath the frame where your taillight harness connects to? That wouldn't be a fuse block. That wouldn't be a fuse block. It'd just be a junction connector. Daniel, a bunch of people scour junkyards for those kind of pieces and then sell them on eBay. Wizard, I was taught you can borrow it till you can afford it. Yeah. I've never been a gatekeeper of my tools. Anybody in the shop that treats them with respect can use them. Never been real. Matt said, last time I went to jury duty, I was tossed because I wore a pro Second Amendment t-shirt and Donald Trump hat. That'll do it. Oh, like I said, it wasn't a criminal case. It was a civil case. So it was, and I literally, like I said, answered 3 questions and got on the jury for some reason. It's just crazy. Gordon Freeman. This may be an unpopular opinion here, but I think service manager is the HOA of the tech world. In my experience, they're a Karen. They complain about everything and they don't do anything about it. So you're not wrong, Gordon. Oh. Magoose, what do you think about the Sheckley 18100 ball joint press. It's the H style brace. Those thing have some power. That's the one that oddly enough, Matco came out with 2 ball joint presses about at the same time. The one was the Sheckley rebrand, and the other one was the OTC rebrand with the pop-in collars that I reviewed. That thing has mega amounts of torque. If you deal with a lot of stuck ball joints, that is the one to get. I mean, it because of the, the lever function, it works really, really, really well. It's a, kind of a pain in the butt to set up, but it will it'll break something if the ball joint doesn't come out, and not the tool. When you borrow a tool 3 times, it's probably time to buy your own. Depends on the tool. As much as I encourage people to own their own scope, that's a tool that I've told people, no, you need this and this before you get a scope. But so they borrowed my scope multiple times. Daniel, are you putting LEDs in old Toyotas? Just put real bulbs. Just put regular bulbs in there, Bubba. Charles Johnstone, service riders are button pushers. No, they do sell. They do have a skill. They have a different skill than most technicians. Customer relations and convincing customers of what that needs to be done, advising what customers should do. They have skills. It's a very different skill set than most technicians. You think it's an easy job. Wait till you get 4 customers yelling at you at the same time. Not even going to lie. I've seen that happen where 2 service riders are getting yelled at while flashing lights of customers they put on hold that are waiting to yell at them. And I was not involved in any of those 4 tickets, by the way. It is a more difficult job than most technicians think. They think they're up there sitting in the air conditioning, looking at Facebook on their phone, but then they don't see the, getting yelled at, getting yelled at from customers, having to, justify keeping, charging what they do, justify keeping the car longer, et cetera, et cetera. Julian, young kid headed to my local college, community college to study auto tech. Biggest tips for the youngsters, appreciate it. Apply yourself. Put as much effort into it as you possibly can, especially on electrical theory and all that kind of stuff. When they get into the more advanced diagnostics classes, pay attention. Just study up as hard as you can. Watch Scanner Danner videos. That's the stuff most people struggle with, is electrical and, communications, that kind of stuff. Study up on that kind of stuff as much as you can. But pay attention. What you get out of a class is what you put into it. So put into it what you want to get out of it. That's the biggest thing is, study hard and, really, really apply yourself, especially to electrical. Learning 66. I don't do a lot of ball joints, but I have an Astro kit. It was cheap and worked awesome. Lots of adapters. Yeah, I have the Master Astro adapter kit. I've used it for years. I've got an old OTC ball joint press, so I didn't buy the Astro ball joint press. Same setup. And then I have the OTC with snapping adapters, but I don't do many ball joints either. If I do 9 times out of 10 when I'm doing a ball joint, it's part of a control arm. So, and not pressable is what I mean. I mean, that's why I never bought a snap-on ball joint presses, because I don't do enough of them to justify it. They're, a new one is really, really expensive. And for the amount I do them, I'll hold adapters up there to get them set. Well, my dad says they weren't bright enough. Put in new housings. They're not bright enough. It's either corrosion or the housings are just cloudy. That was for Daniel, by the way. Renegade, you're not a kid getting, working your way up. You've been in this business for a minute, so it's a little different for you. Yeah, I did the same thing. If I had to borrow a tool from somebody, it went on my list and I bought it. I mean, sometimes I was literally get handed them back to them after taking a picture and ordering it on Amazon. I mean, let's be honest. But a kid that's, working his way up, he may not be able to afford to do that. Daniel BC, what car is the most reliable? Hell if I know. But it has the worst safety rating. I don't pay attention to safety ratings. I don't know. I really don't know. You're welcome, Julian. Good luck. Study hard. Chris, anybody use the new Snap-on double box flex head ratcheting wrench to compare with the mountain style ones? A bit pricey, but is the difference worth it? I honestly don't think so. I mean, I literally compared the prices to them, and you can buy 4 sets of the mountain ATD, etc. wrenches for the cost of 1 set. So even if you have to warranty one wrench repeatedly, you're still way ahead just sticking with the ATD mountain wrenches. But that's my opinion. The Snap-on ones are rebuildable, but I mean, that's a lot of money for those. Charles asking about my current job and how I like it. I like it. Everything's going fine. So Charles, you're fine. Dang, I'm old. LOL. Renegade Garage. Yeah, me too. I was reading comments and it was on the video that went live Wednesday, and it's like, oh, find a job that's not so strenuous. Like, I mean, I felt like going, because my back was tweaked in that, video. It was like, it wasn't from work. It was from getting up from a freaking chair, the chair I'm sitting in right now. I didn't hurt myself at work. I hurt myself at home. So, yeah, anyway. Charles Johnstone, yes, ATD wrenches, mountain wrenches, the Easy Reds, the Icons, every other rebrand that looks just like those are made by the Cabo plant in Taiwan. They're all made at the same plant. They're identical made. The only difference is who warranties it. And that's the only consideration is how to get it warranted. Like I've got the mountain wrenches and I've got a set of Matco. I paid way too much for the Matco, but my mountain rep went away, and I had been breaking the 14 millimeter constantly. So I was like, okay, well, let me buy this set. So if I need warranty, I can get them warranted. Haven't broken a single one except I broke the 10 millimeter once, I think. It's hard to remember, but I mean, but yeah, they're all made by the same company. Learning 66, learning how much are the snap-on long wrenches you mentioned. I believe they're like $600 or $800. See if I can find them. Nope. No. No, that's the old style. Sorry, I'm looking for these wrenches. See how much they were, but not coming up on the old Google. Yeah, no, that's the old style. I'm going to stop looking for them. They're stupid expensive. They're rebuildable. Like the ratcheting mechanism is held in with 2 Torx screws and you can pull it out. But JWC Tech, smash that like button. I appreciate it, JWC. Daniel, I've done many GM door hinges. They all suck. They all suck. 800. Chris says eight for 5 of them. 800. Believe that. That's what I thought. But Julian, with the recent UAW strikes and the fact that you see similar changes coming to the auto repair industry in the near future, everything I've seen, shops are paying better because they have to, because they can't find qualified techs. So pay is getting up. Benefits are starting to be offered, et cetera, et cetera. Pay is getting very competitive in this industry. So, I mean, it's starting to get competitive. So definitely, I'll do a little side vent on this. There was a guy asking about making over $100,000, and a bunch of people in the comments, and this is a Facebook group, was going, "Oh no, you're not making 100,000." Like, yeah, you if you're top level, you should be. In most areas, one guy mentioned, if you're not producing $500,000 a year, you shouldn't be making $100,000. Really? I was producing 600,000. Just saying. One of the nice things about being able to look at your numbers, you know how much you actually make the business. But anyway, yeah. So the income's going up, so that's always a good thing. Learning 66, insane. I stay off the trucks these days if I can help it. Yeah, I mean, they're getting crazy. Yeah, JWC Tech 5-piece set, XFRRM 705, $800. Matt Eberly, where I'm in South Dakota, none of the independent shops have anybody that rotates tires right. My new shop is under construction, but hope to be open mid-January 2024. Well, good luck. Hopefully everything goes well. Charles, it's affecting OE parts, so yes. What's up, JWC Tech? Yes, it's affecting parts. Part of the world. Gordon Freeman, aftermarket radiators also suck. They're not crimped right. Yeah. Condensers, radiators. I've had a bunch of problems with those. Matt, when I open my shop, I plan to use OEM parts. Cool. Definitely the best way to go. Oh, excuse me. For longevity. I mean, let's be honest. As long as you're not using the crappy second line stuff, they're very good. Daniel, now assembly line workers making 100 grand a year. They've already been making 100 grand, dude. You think they weren't already making that? Meanwhile, tech is breaking their back, shoulders, and hips. Meanwhile, auto workers have horrible quality control. I don't know what to say about that. I'm not a advocate for labor unions. I don't see there was value in them of 100 years ago. I think now they just are out for themselves, and that's all that matters. So, but I don't like to get political on this channel. So, Juan Ramirez, Autel 808 thoughts. Autel. A little sure. I mean, it's a good little it's a good little scanner. The MK808 live graphing in can do some bidirectional controls, I believe. I'm looking at their website. Live data, active tests, it'll do active tests. So yeah, no, it's built on the Autel system. It'll do brake pad replacement, steering angle sensor relearns. I mean, they're good little tools. Eric at the shop used to have one. He used the crap out of it. So decent little tool. Quick Wrench, what's going on? How you doing? James Watkins, what's up? Oh, he's over in Arkansas. Yeah, Daniel, you're kind of tweaking the plastic housing is what's going on. I assume he means Milwaukee, not Milwaukee. Ratcheting wrench. Ratchet. I assume he's talking Milwaukee battery powered ratcheting ratchet, and when he's doing it manually, the battery tends to get stuck. He's probably tweaking the housing a little bit. Yeah, seats are a pain in the butt, dude. You're just having all the fun on that truck, aren't you? Yeah, now that's something to get help with. Big items that are heavy and you know, twisty and all that. Oh, it's not my server. All right, what other questions we got? I don't have any more little topics to go over, so oh. Got a notification from one of my channels I watch that he's going live, so nothing I care about. It's about Twitch. So anyway, so we got any more questions? I think I got everything. Yeah, I agree with JWC Tech. I didn't read the part about advice, but yeah, if you got to put it in a vise to get the battery out, contact warranty about it, because it shouldn't. Any new tools you have coming in? The Milwaukee borescope video will be live tomorrow. That's a really cool tool. Definitely like that one. But that video is already filmed and already uploaded, and it goes live tomorrow. That's about all I got coming in right now that I can talk about. Excuse me. You know, I can talk about it because it's already been announced and it's out tomorrow. And the video's out tomorrow. So but that's about all I can talk about as far as what I got coming up. Yeah, no, dude, JWC Tech, it is cool. It has a lot of good features. Very good camera on it. I will say that for sure. It's definitely got a very good camera. Um, you know, resolution is resolution, but when you punch in, it really does help how good the camera is. Gregory Chapman, I'm a certified advanced tech for Toyota, but I'm still being mentored. I'm lucky to be able to use my mentor's tool every day. About $5,000, I say every day for now. Yeah, I mean, make sure and save that because you know when you do get kicked to the proverbial line, you're gonna need to have tools. So keep that in mind. But yeah, it's definitely cool that you can use his tools while you're learning, rather than having to go through and spend a buttload of money and realize you don't want to do it. because talking to Paul, who I used to work with, he'd see a lot of, he worked at Toyota, and he'd see a lot of the quick lane and mentored kids. Once they got on the line themselves, they kind of dipped. Enoch Cheng, what do you think about the new Husky Professional Series toolbox, hutch and locker with the lifetime warranty? Craig, that I used to work with, has one. They are decent. They're not Snap-on Matco quality. You wouldn't expect that. They're definitely well on par with Harbor Freight. They're decently built. Their weight ratings are good. Definitely a good option for a more budget friendly toolbox. He very much likes the box, and so definitely a good option if you're not wanting to go tool truck route and money. Favorite pliers, Timothy Newman asks. Regular straight up pliers. I really like the Snap-ons. I lost my old Craftsman that I don't even know who the actual OEM on them was, but I really like them. I grabbed the Snap-ons. I really do like the Snap-on ones for just regular pliers. For everything else, the KNIPEX Cobras. So JWC Tech, I like borescopes and endoscopes with screens. Yes, me too. I do not want one attached to a laptop. My Snap-on one has slid off of many, many, many things. And I do not want my laptop doing that. Because, when you're trying to, stick a thing in a hole, it's easy to bump other things trying to do it while you're watching because you're sitting there hyper focused on what you're doing. Bluetooth Wi-Fi, no. I there's too much latency with Bluetooth, especially for an endoscope. But yeah, no, I want one with I want one with an actual screen, not attaching, not plugging into something. Aaron Townsend TV, oh man, your favorite guy finally retired, Scotty Kilmer. Yeah, dude, did he really retire? Or he's just saying he's retiring to get more clicks. I have do not show me him so many more times. They don't ever recommend his videos to me. But yeah, you're funny. You're funny there, Aaron. Gregory Chapman. I have a long list. I've been able to use Snap-on, Mac, Cornwell, Icon, and a lot. I have my list down. Awesome, man. That's awesome. JWC Tech, best pliers are Snap-on. Gives a part number, which I'm not trying to repeat, or KNIPEX twin grips, in my opinion. I have a pair of Craftsman Pro Black, KNIPEX rebrand Cobras that are also in my top 3. Daniel BC, what do you think of the Avalanche? Do you remember when it came out new? Yes, I remember when it came out new. I was like, oh man, that's cool. I want one of those. How much? No, I'll just have a pickup. But yes, I remember when they came out. Gregory Chapman, my mentor is a Mac Icon guy, so I'm lucky. I've seen Snap-on take people LOL. Yeah. Like a furniture store having a store closing sale. LOL. Yeah, JWC Tech. Yeah, Enoch, that's what he has. He has the Pro Series, not the DIY. Oh, really? That's good. Oh, no, I have not seen that one in person. That one I have not, like my Home Depot does not have this one. Yeah, no, I'm looking at my local store. Ships to store or delivery. They ain't got one. No, I have no experience with that one at all. So sorry. No, unfortunately, no, I don't. I've never seen one of those at all, and I've been to several Home Depots, Home Depot. But yeah, no, I don't. I haven't actually physically touched it, so I have no idea. They look cool. So yeah, sorry, Enoch. Oh. All right, what other questions we got? Cindy, what's going on? Hope I'm doing very well. Cindy, uh, Topdon, which are rebranded launch scanners, are very good. I think for your uses, you'll be very happy with it. Not as good as um, ICOM, but it'll get the job done in most situations, other than programming and that kind of stuff. Yeah, definitely a good option. JWC Tech, I'm happy with my old Husky box. There were about 5 different quality levels, but the top 3 quality levels are all pretty decent. Still prefer used toolboxes for the $1,000 to $2,000 price range. Matt Embroll, have you played with the Zeus Plus? No. No, I didn't even know there was a Zeus Plus. That's the new. Yeah, that's their new. Yeah. No, I have not. I've seen it. I have not played with it. I've not gotten a demo on it. I really. Um. Yeah. No, I don't. That's one of the nice. That's that. Here's the thing about that. The whole reason I used my Veris Edge scope was because it was all one unit. Grab it, carry it, etc. Plug in, start scoping. If I'm gonna have to plug something in, for me, I'm just gonna grab a laptop and my Pico. There's that it kind of defeats the purpose of an all-in-one. I say that and launch isn't integral either. But for me personally, that kills functionality of the tool because it's not all part of one. I'm guessing they've gone that way because they found out with Autel and Launch doing it that they can separate it and make a cheaper tablet. Because that was one of the things they had to have a connection for the the scope module in the old Zeus, because it was still pull out on the old Zeus. Yeah, I kind of seems like they're missing the beat on that one. Yeah, I played with it on the Snap-on truck, or played with it on the Snap-on truck, and that was the extent of it. So, you know, it's got the baby dongle that you will lose. Make sure if you own one of those, you get the lanyard. Gregory Trapman, still yet to go on a Matco truck. I love your toolbox in the background. One day I'll get there. Well, you're not going to get there with those toolboxes. They are unfortunately discontinued. Fun fact, if you Google search Matco Revel X, I come up before Matco. Just saying, unfortunately, that's a bad thing for Matco. At least it was last time I checked. But you Google search Matco Revel X, my video comes up before Matco's page. But I mean, yeah, it's cool. It's a pain in the ass to move, I can tell you that much. Real pain in the butt. All right. Scott Ennis, good point. Pico and laptop isn't as elegant, but much more powerful. Yes. Have been toying with a rugged tablet to mount the Pico to the back. A bunch of the diagnostic guys that do 3D printing have a bracket for the Pico to mount on the back of a laptop or a tablet. If you have a 3D printer, I'm sure you can find an STL file for it, and then just double-sided tape to it. But yeah, no, if I'm going through all that, I'm just grabbing a Pico and a laptop. Well, cool, and Cindy. I'm glad everything's going well for you. So everything else is going good for you, Cindy? Yeah, no, it's a good tool. If money wasn't an issue, for what diagnostic maintainer would you recommend? I would just get a. I mean, I use my OTC maintainer right now because my Snap-on died. But there is the Chlor. There's this one from Chlor that's really well regarded. I have not used it, but a lot of people say it's really good. That's probably what I would. I wonder where they stole this picture from. AES Wave connector set, Pico accessories, charger. Seriously got to wonder where they got this picture from. So anyway, that one or the flash programming. Huh. Solar. So. But yeah. That's that's the one I'd be, well, that not the not that, let me rephrase that, not that one specifically, but the one that does a 1,000 amps. That's a 600 amp one. They got a bigger one. That's but yeah, I mean, that one from Chlor is the one I would be looking at if I didn't already have the one from OTC. JWC Tech, no, I'm not going to SEMA. Unfortunately, I'm going to be spending several weeks in Europe. Finally getting that trip out of. Finally going to do that trip for my daughter. So that's several weeks out of the country. So can't take the time off for SEMA. Cindy says she's getting a new Corgi tire machine next week. Missed that thing from the dealer. Awesome. Cool. Charles Johnstone, I wanted to bring up Cornwell's Flyers recently. Really good things. Matco guy was asking a lot about me buying from them so often. I don't have a Cornwell dealer, so I haven't seen a flyer of theirs in several years, so I don't know what's in it. Timothy Newman, I want to get some JIS 1/4 inch insert bits. Is there a good way to tell if it's actually JIS? All the vessel stuff is listed as PH2, PH3, so I'm not sure. All the vessel stuff is JIS standard. It is JIS, so just get it from Vessel. They're a Japanese company. It's all going to be to the JIS standard actually technically went away. It's no longer a standard, but it still exists. But yeah, those are going to be to the JIS standard. So, JWC Tech's JS replacement bits as your Google search and many results will show up. Yeah, the problem with Google search results is just because they show up in results doesn't mean it's accurate. Gregory Chapman, best breaker bar 24 to 30 inch. I don't know. My snap-ons are old. They've had a lot of torque on them, but I have not bought a breaker bar in a very, very long time. The last breaker bar I got was a replacement from Snap-on. 99% of the time for me, I use my ratcheting extended 1/2 inch drive ratchet. Don't often grab a breaker bar. So I don't often either, and just to clarify, I don't often put a cheater bar on my ratchet either. Some people go work out. I fix cars. I'm car strong. So your mileage will vary, but yeah, I mean, the Snap-on stuff's been good to me. That's all I can say. I'm a Charles Johnson. I'm gonna say I was going to start with AES first, but I'm not quite there yet. Definitely, you can't go wrong with buying from AES Wave. The owners are awesome. They will take good care of you. JWC check, Laser, Motion Pro, Vessel, and Chapman all have version of JIS bits. He asked, I told him to get Vessel. Is that Snap-on as well? I mean, that's the only one. The last non-Snap-on breaker bar I've had was Husky, and I broke it. But that's my breaker bars, other than the one I had warranted, are all got to be 25 years old. So I don't use them often. Yeah, no, I mean, Timothy says, okay, great, thanks. I was doing a heated steering wheel on a new Pilot, and it kept slipping out of the screws with the little dots on them. JWC check, I would like to get that 36-inch Matco half-inch breaker bar. Longest I have now is 33. I couldn't tell you. I haven't broken out my breaker bars in a long time. I mean, it just, I don't know. I think the last time I used a cheater bar was on my ratchet. I'll take that back. Breaker bar on I used my shorter one on when I was doing lug nuts with the removing locking lug nuts. I used the breaker bar then rather than a ratchet, mostly because I was hammering on the back of it. What does Aerostar Ramirez, what does Scanner Danner have to do with AES? They're a supporter of his. They're a sponsor of his. Jorge is a very cool dude, and he supports Scanner Danner because Scanner Danner supports the industry. But other than, I think they, talk to him and send him stuff, I don't think they really pay him or anything. So JWC Tech, I keep a breaker bar with me when I do mobile work. Don't blame you. I don't do mobile work. So, all right, it's about 9 o'clock, so I think I'm going to go ahead and call it here. So, appreciate everybody stopping by. It was great to hear from you, Cindy, if you're still in the chat. Glad to hear you're doing well. So, as always, thanks for watching. I am the Flat Rate Master.